Well. Oh, wow. Jumped up to 4.
There we go.
Yeah. So, hello, everyone. This is now the 11th installment of the Brick Connection. And no better way to kind of start off the new 10, with none other than the guy behind all of it. Gave me the grace for my wings to fly, in a way. You've been pretty much a producer role, but none other than Studlake, Matt Blackbrick.
What's up, man?
Welcome, dude.
Thanks. Good. Great to be here. Glad we could put this together.
Yeah, it's about damn time. It's like we were talking about it, but I have both been just busy with all the
life gets in the way, but we're both here. We're both locked in, and we get to do it in person, right?
Yeah, live from the Rennie too.
That's right.
That's even wild.
We're here, man.
At the friggin' Rennie.
We're here.
That we are. So, how has your Brickworld experience been so far?
Pretty good so far. I would say overall, I think we've stepped it up from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Our crew is much bigger that we're rolling with. I think our reach is a little bit further. I think we came in a little bit harder right away.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, those early days, everyone was still kind of feeling each other out. But I mean, it was hitting the ground running this year. But no, I mean, nights have been later.
Mm-hmm.
I just the vibes are great this year, man.
Yeah, I feel like how you're saying, people aren't like feeling each other out yet this time around. It's because we very much just kind of picked up where we left.
Just came in hot this time, right? There was no standoffishness. I mean,
because we did all that last year.
Yeah, and I mean, even this year for like some of the people that we didn't know,
CJ.
I mean, we
knew CJ,
but like even like just more peripheral, like, hey, maybe you've been in some of the chats, and I don't know, we've been in the comments and that kind of stuff. But even people like that, I mean, there's really been no I don't know, no warm-up period, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what's your name? What's the handle? All right,
we know you.
Here we go. Yep.
So, because this is your third Brickworld?
Second.
Yep,
I was the first year last year with you.
That's right.
Yeah, we rolled in together last year.
We did, and now we were wheeling and dealing together this year.
There we go.
Unreal, dude. Did you expect any of this to kind of spawn in the time from last year?
I mean, a lot of spawn. I mean, not only with what you got going on, but I feel like people breaking into the space, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that that were maybe only in the comments, people that weren't showing their face. I think that the welcomeness from Sean and Brent, a lot of people on some streams throwing out the link every once in a while, just getting people
active.
Yeah, getting people. I mean, even me and myself, like, I don't post on YouTube. I don't do anything like that, but I'll hop on anyone's show. I mean, I've hopped on their show. I hopped on with Brick Adjuster. I've hopped on with Will Bricks Productions. I mean, people throw out invites and you say yes, and you get out there.
Yeah, because it's no longer very much like only like this certain group or certain person predominates one section.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much, it's become more inviting and welcome for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's crossing borders here. It's really one big group instead of parting down niches.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that fully. But
we got the top boys, the boys waving. We got Jedi Stone and the robes walking around here. Very distracting venue here, but
the Ben and Jerry's T-shirt with the Jedi robe.
Maybe you took the tour. It's around here, isn't it?
Oh, really?
I think so.
Are you going to Citizen Brick Monday?
I'm not, because I gotta go to work. I would really love to make it one year, maybe next year. I would love to see the HQ. I love everything they do. They got a big drop today. Line is out the door. We were last night when we were chilling in the hall, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. There were people camped outside the booth, folding in camping chairs, watching Netflix, sleeping. They're ready to go for this morning. But yeah, right now the line is still out the door.
So you can't sleep in the convention center.
I think it's iffy, right? I think if you're sleeping alone, probably a no-no. But if there's like a group of people and some people are chilling, hanging out, and there's maybe a couple people dozing off, I think you can probably get away with that.
Yeah. So kind of like, let's relay a little bit from the convention. Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
A little hotter for me there.
Oh, I apologize, sir.
There you go. That's more like it right there.
Yeah,
That was perfect.
but let's stray away a little bit from the brick world. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
But everyone kind of knows who you are because a lot of the Austin brick viewers are ACOB. But for
Lots
the
of
slim,
crossover.
yeah, you know, the Girth Gang supports each other.
That's right.
But for those who are watching it, don't know who you are, would you want to give a brief introduction?
Yeah, my name is Cody. I am basically a lifelong Lego fan. I got into it when I was 3. The Star Wars sets breaking out. I've been collecting ever since. I would say at a gray age a little bit, around 2013, 14.
The worst time to have one.
Never got out of it. I didn't sell all my collection. My siblings and my dad were still into it, so I was still very much connected in the space. I just wasn't buying at the time. But then 2015, Star Wars kind of revival with the sequel starting.
Yeah.
Hype was high, so I got pulled back in there, and I've been going ever since. I would say I broke into the watching YouTube space in like 2016, 17.
Okay.
But it really wasn't until ACOB, I would say early 22.
That's around time.
I think early 2022 was when I, started commenting.
We kind of spawned in there together.
Yeah, I think so. And it was a combination of ACOB and then getting into the Instagram space, which is where I think it's basically where the Lego community lives, I feel like, outside of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a much lower barrier to entry to where, I mean, you can just have your account, post a picture here and there, and you're kind of off and running, and you can connect.
A little minifigure head.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of my foot in the door here. And then as far as anything past that, I mean, ACOB was at Brickworld in 22.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They were streaming that they had no setup like this, right?
Yeah, it was just like
they're
one
up
of the
against the brick
tables
wall,
and,
and I mean they did it though, and they were having a ball of a time. So I was like, man, I would like to go to that, but that was kind of my foray into okay, I'm gonna do this, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, several years, just like a little handful of years later, and now you're actively doing stuff for Brickworld.
I am. So again, with the ACOB stuff in Brickworld, like I wanted to come, but I didn't know anybody really, right? I wanted to show up. I don't live that far away. I can drive, so it's not that big of a trip for me. But I wanted something to do. I wanted an excuse to, like, at the very least, I'm here for a specific reason.
Yeah.
And the Sean and Brent, they had some T-shirts at the time, but they had whispers here or there of getting sig figs, or Box of Boys really taken off at the time. Their Mark, I don't know what you call it. Their jargon, if you will. And I just kind of went to Sean cold, and I was like, yo, I think it'd be really dope if you guys did something like this. Here's some concepts. And he put his faith in me and said, all right, let's try and get this done. And we worked together really closely on that first one. It was a lot of me completing tasks and saying, hey, what do you think of this? And he's like, that's fantastic. Let's try tweaking this here and there. And we did that about 100 times. And we had our first custom set for ACOB through my brand, Matt Black Bricks, and we were able to bring that to fruition for my first Brickworld.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
It was a big first swing.
Yeah.
It worked out pretty well. Everything. It was a enormous learning curve, but I would say all in all, it went pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
And here we are a year later from that release, and
you have like doubled.
We've all kinds of stuff coming out, mainly for ACOB. I mean, we got the T-shirts this year. We got the Brick Rips on now. And even outside ACOB, I've done a handful of T-shirts for you. Kuhan Luke, I got a shirt for him as well. So just really the cool part about it is just that community aspect, right?
Yeah.
Pulling everybody together into one space,
one fabric.
And I don't know, just making dope stuff for our little community here.
For sure. So you were mentioning, like, when you reached out to Sean, like, hey, this is what you're talking about, was there stuff you were doing before Sean that kind of got you your feet wet with design?
No.
Oh,
not at all. No. I pretty much had to learn everything from the ground up. My wife is a photographer, so she's got a little bit of skill in the the softwares that are affiliated with that. So it was a lot of asking her questions, watching YouTube videos, Googling. I would say honestly, probably the real like central point of that was I was getting involved in the customs community for Lego. I would say at the time I got in the barrier to entry and the access to customs was kind of in a great spot, especially on Instagram. Brands were growing at the time and customs were getting good, right? In the old days, you didn't have customs, you had knockoffs basically.
Decal, nothing against like decals, but
which
you
that's
had like
fine, but like
the little shipping label
and not even that, not even knocking decals, but even down to like knockoff parts, right? Lepin was running wild. But once I think the customs community was maturing, right? Like okay, customs use official parts.
Yes, and some even
expensive ones will use molds that they'll create. But like as far as plastic goes, it's the Lego plastic that we're using. And I just think the maturity of that space was at a time for me that worked out with the ACOB stuff, and I was like, hey, customs, ACOB, let's put those two together.
Because I feel like it's been I feel like you've been facing, in the best way possible, a huge sense of rapid growth. I feel like you haven't had any like downtime. Like even after the box of boys, it was immediately into the holiday heater. And even before that, what, the Girth Trooper? So it's been constant.
There's always stuff in the works, man.
So how do you handle that? Like balancing and facilitating, like, I have to do this design, but also there's projects I want to do outside of that, for other people. Then if you don't mind me, you are, you're a family man, you have a lot of stuff to try and juggle. Is there like a certain, I don't know, like a planner or like a way that you are able to balance every aspect and not feel like you're spending too much time in one?
I mean, you're definitely right. There's a lot of plates in the air. I think after throwing too many of those plates up and realizing, okay, this is what it looks like when I go 130% and can't keep up with everything. I think you learn. So like in the last year, I've learned we're probably only doing one custom set per year for ACOB. We did the holiday heaters. Again, that was another set 6 months after the initial release. It was a very involved process.
Because it's 12
for
builds,
that
right?
set. It was 6 total builds, but it wasn't just a box and a build. It was a box and it's 6 smaller boxes and it's 6 different instructions and it's, I don't even know what it was, 15, 16 different prints. We swung for the fences with that one. We did it in the end, but it was a lot of work. So I would say something like that. It's like, okay, we're only gonna do that once a year because I'm sorting those parts, right? Orders come in. I got 30,000 parts on my hands. I got to sort those, and I could ask for help. I've gotten better about asking for help, but I mean, I'm at the end of the day, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I think in this case it stems from I just want people to be happy with what they're getting. It's very hard to have one little thing go wrong out of the 10,000 things that need to be done to bring a product to market. And if something gets screwed up, if I'm the one that messes it up, it's a lot easier for me to deal with than if I pass it off to someone else, right? That's on me at the end of the day. But no, I've gotten a lot better at that. And I think this year I was ready a lot sooner than last year. I mean, I was down to the wire last year for the set, but no, I mean, it's just little stuff like that. And I don't really have like planned out, this is coming out at this time and this coming out this time. Like I know some people do, right? Some people are like, this is what we're doing. This is our slate for the year.
Some
like
people, a wave.
They might even have, this is our slate for next year too.
Orbital does that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not operating on that scale right now because, again, like you said, it's not my full-time thing. I had a lot more going on.
Yeah.
But I think in general where I'm at now is I do a lot of stuff with a couple of Brickheads. I would like to get out 3 to 4 products a year for them. So that's the general schedule. And then if I can slip in a couple things here and there just for my own brand, that's great too. And then if we can squeeze in little stuff between that, like a shirt here, something else there, then that's great too. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as the wheels keep turning, as long as something is being worked on, then I'm happy. I want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, because you're at a good peak right now. Not saying like just like not like your own personal peak or whatever, but for the dawn of like what Matte Black Bricks is, you're at this scale trajectory. You have to keep riding that because if you take any time off, it's very much like YouTube analytics or anything really. It just
because I'm the one doing everything, right? So if I'm not working on it,
then who is?
Nobody's working on it, right? Yeah. No, I mean that can definitely get tough, when work gets hairy, when life gets in the way. I mean, maybe you're taking a week or two off at a time, but you got to get back in that groove at some point if you want to keep, things moving forward. And that's hard at times, but I think if you don't overextend, that gets a little bit easier, right? If something happens, you're off for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like, all right, I got to get back to these 14 projects I'm working on. Nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
But if you're like, all right, these are the 2 to 3 things that are going on right now, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to get this portion of this done. I think it's a lot more digestible.
Yeah. So it's are you like a follower of the 1-2 rule?
I'm not. Explain that to me.
Okay, so you're not a Lex Friedman fan, are you?
I'm not. I know you are.
Oh,
I know you are.
Yeah. The dude gave me the idea for the banner, of the black curtain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little nod to him,
Yeah.
If I could ever meet that man, I'd try. So the 1-2 rule, okay, it could be days or weeks. Never, if you're doing 1 week off, make sure you do the second week on. Never, if you go past that 2, it's pretty much dead.
Yep.
Because it's like, you need that like self-discipline to be on track. And I feel like what you're doing, you have to have a very strong self-discipline.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy the easiest thing to do is nothing, right?
Yep.
And if you're doing that for too long and that's what you're used to, getting acclimated to where you were. I mean, this is life, right? You start a new job, as a kid, right? You go to the next grade. It's always super hard in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very stressful time, but I mean, by a couple weeks, couple months in, it's old hat. It's no problem, right?
Yeah, because it's like, look at like Sean and them. They were probably terrified or mortified, whatever it was. Getting out there doing it themselves. Because what? Correct me if I'm wrong on the lore. It was Sean that reached out to Brent like, hey, I have this idea. They never worked together prior to that.
Nope.
So it was very much and doing a show every week.
Consistency.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
And it's a lot of faith and responsibility that you're giving each other. Because it's like, I feel, whenever I have a Brick Connection episode, it's like, it gets done. I'm like, shoot, we're going live in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in the green room. It's like, come on, don't leave me hanging here. Like this is gonna be real awkward if I have to cancel. So do you think it's something kind of like that? So when you're working with ACOB, you have to have the comms up.
Yeah, 1,000%. You can't really go dark, right? You gotta. I mean, it's the same as anything in life. I mean, if you don't communicate, what's going on with you. I mean, assumptions might be made, and that's where mistakes are made, right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, once you're sitting in that green room and you're 5 minutes due and you haven't heard from so and so in the past few hours, you're like, all right, I'm trusting the last message I got this morning. Hopefully, nothing's happened to them between now and then to where I forgot or this happened or that happened.
Yeah, because you need that streamlined communication, especially like at the volume you're doing. It was 140 something sets this year.
145 this year. Okay. Last year was 135.
Yeah. Oh, hey, increase.
Yep.
Means things are moving in the right direction.
as long as we do a little bit more, then I think we're doing pretty good. Honestly, I'm more than happy with what we're producing at this point.
We got some chat active now. We were just doing best in this combo.
So yeah, that's the thing is there's so many people here. Chats, I feel like chats all around have been kind of light lately.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all right. Everyone will catch up on the replay. I got a bunch of streams in my save for later that I'll watch next week.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. That's good. But Torso Crackers giving us the wave. Hello,
what up,
sir.
Torso?
Anthony, he's saying what's up. Ultra.
What up?
Torso, are you coming? I know he was saying that he might try and stop in on a Saturday.
That would be fun. That's today, right? It's hard to keep track of the days. Yeah, today is Saturday.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's no, they all kind of blend together here.
Yeah, I got in on Friday afternoon.
That's crazy.
I know. I don't think I'm doing that again. I feel like we created such a FOMO.
You're over a week in.
Oh yeah, over.
Yep.
And I'm here for even longer past that.
That's crazy. Yeah, I rolled in on Tuesday. I was pretty good with that.
Yep.
I think honestly Monday or Tuesday I think you're good.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do the Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday's the final day of the convention.
Yep.
So it's like, you need that day off, but before you, or the night off, like Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because the night's the last night.
Yep. No, this is the big night. Yep.
I hate this thing that game. It's like, yeah, sure, we have Discord or ACOP to keep us together, but I can physically do this,
But hey, man, this one came around fast. I mean, it didn't feel like a year.
No. I remember doing the countdown, which I'm going to definitely keep doing. I feel like it's tradition at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like if I didn't do it one week, you guys would be like, is Austin dead?
I'm pretty sure that did happen once or twice.
Yeah, September.
Yeah.
Dark curtain.
What's going on? Check on him.
Yeah, I think it was Sean that messaged me. He's like, dude, you alive?
Where's the countdown?
He's like, no, I think his exact text was like, bro, you have a pulse? He's like, if you need help.
Hey, man, we're doing the show, and there's no super.
Yeah,
what's going on?
I don't know. It's like, oh, I'm known. Not sure if that's the best way to be known, but so here we go. Ultras. What's the state of the room? Honestly, I'm shook. The room is actually nice and clean. It's,
Oh, your room.
Yeah,
the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in there.
Well,
I've stayed away.
If you want to see my light customs haul,
shoot, dude, that's pretty tempting. No, I'm many floors up from you guys.
I want to get on that floor next year.
Many floors up. I was surprised. I'm almost at the top.
Oh, you're rising up.
That's right.
Loners rise up.
Well, I was on floor 4 last year.
Yeah,
I was still in the atrium, but no, they put me up high this year.
I'll see if I can put that in my request. When I call them, like, hey,
highest floor possible.
If you want me to stop calling, give me this floor.
Ultimatum.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Did you know we're interviewing the manager of the Rennie?
Are you? When?
I think tomorrow.
That's crazy. You gonna put the Rennie tees on?
Yeah. Yeah. Or do you want to sit in for that one?
No.
I want no affiliation with me.
No, I don't want no affiliation for when you guys get booted.
No, it's me, Mark, and
okay. So you got Mark. You got Mark
on
your side. Okay, you're pretty safe then.
Yeah, because it was funny. Like when we started doing the calls or whatever, the Rennie called Mark. I was like, "Hey, do you know this guy?"
Oh,
and Mark's like, "Yeah, just let him do it. It's his own little thing." And we're like, "Oh, we actually get a kick out of it." So it's kind of funny. But kind of circling back, so it was earlier last year you actually opened up the brand of Matte Black Bricks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I'm trying to word this here. So when you decide to do that, did Sean or any of them approach you at first? Like, hey, we want to start like an acob.store or something like that?
Nope. No, like I said, I came in cold with the Box Boys of Sean. I had never spoken to him before. Just cold in the DMs, and he was on board with that. And the brand was created by me as an easy way of distribution.
Yeah.
Right, because they didn't have their own brand, like officially, like website to move this stuff. It was like they done merch through people through like Etsy and that type of thing. But no, I created the business specifically for those sets to start.
So now you got your foot in the door.
Mhm.
You know, people are knowing. Tom knew exactly what Matt Blackford's was, and that's huge.
Mhm.
Tom is what, the largest American
He's the
customs
man.
reseller.
He's the man. He's doing the work for us in the U.S. More the U.S. resellers. That's what we love, right?
Yeah, that man, absolute class.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad he can make it this year.
yeah, his flight was at 4 a.m. or something.
I heard.
And I was deep in slumber, you know, like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
You know, the post-drinking slumber or whatever it was. And I just see this figure just hovering over my bed, just gently waking me up because I want to give you a hug before I go. I'm like, of course. Just the stand-up man, you know. And especially doing the art, am I able to say?
I mean, doing the deals that he did throughout the week, the couple days that he was here, yeah,
in the lobby. So, and he could have had every right he wanted.
The briefcase deals,
dude, that was baller.
Yep.
I just remember, like, I was actually helping him kind of like with the mock over there. That's what I've been doing the whole time because I just want to, you know, because I'm trying to bring a big scale one next year to, you know, a house kitchen, and there's something else that's in the works.
Okay.
It's gonna be a few people.
Awesome.
Another collab build, kind of like that.
Yeah. See, I was over there. I saw the Simple Man. I saw the build you guys have been working on.
Yeah.
On chipping away at here, and it looks great, man. But yeah, that's good practice, right?
It's like I just want to see how they're doing it.
Yep.
So when I get home, I can figure it out for myself.
Yeah. Well, and you're working with the right guys to learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got True Squadrons.
Yeah.
Legoman 360.
If there's anyone that you can be learning from, they're a pretty good pick, right? Yeah.
And then Nate.
Yep.
You know, it's like that's the wild thing is a lot of people here, like we've known for years, but we finally see them in the flesh, like in their meat suit. It's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, like guys like that, I just think it's cool. You know, they'll bring their own stuff, right? The stuff that they're passionate about, that they're working at home. But a lot of times they'll have these collab builds too. And I don't even think that it's just because of the scale of the thing. I think they just want to be working on something with the boys, right?
Yeah. And then talk about trust. That's a huge level of trust. Because like, say if, like, for example, if your comms aren't up and you're not actively communicating, say like, for example, like,
are you still working on this, man?
But it's not even just that, but say if they are working, like we know that.
Yeah.
But say, for example, if like you say the measurements, okay, we need 84 bricks high.
Yep.
And someone else is 84 bricks high, but here's the thing. There's always issues with molds.
Yeah.
You know, it could be like a little smidge off, and then when you come here to put it all together,
doesn't fit.
It's done. You know, you need that level of trust.
Hey, but that's why you get here. That's why you get here early, right?
Yeah,
you set up right away.
Yep.
Right away on that Tuesday or Wednesday. You're like, all right, we got 2 or 3 days to fix this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of circling back to MBB, because like I said, you got your foot in the door with everyone knowing who you are. What would you, outside of ACOB, I know you want to keep doing that, but what's something you want to keep pushing forward? Is it like custom fig production, more custom sets for other creators or influencers, if you will? Well, if you're able to, I don't want you to reveal everything. If you can give us like a little snippet, like what would that look like for you?
I mean, I would say my general direction a year ago was along the custom set lines. But after realizing how much work that actually is, I mean, when you see these custom sets, like even like looking at Brickmania, and these sets aren't that big, and you're seeing that $200-$400 price tag, and it seems insane. If you knew the work that went in to just making that happen, that the non-automated work, Lego operates at a scale where they don't need human hands on every step of the process, but at the custom scale, it's hundreds of hours of work.
Yeah, because you're not
into each product.
And the thing is you're not employed like how a Lego designer would. You're taking on all of the facilitation of it. Sourcing. Then you're like, while you're also sourcing, you also have to figure out, okay, how can I, if I'm doing this, how can I keep costs for parts down?
And cost balloon throughout a project. If you're gonna do it right and you're not gonna cut corners and actually deliver on
and make something you're proud of.
1,000%. And like we've put this out there 1,000 times. We're not getting rich on the sets that we're making. Not even close. I mean, we are breaking even if we're lucky. But the community that we serve, you're very well aware. We are mostly a purist community,
Yeah.
A Cobb, right?
Yeah.
We've been doing our best
you and I
to
are
get them
the
to break into
outsiders.
the customs market.
So here's
But
the
I
thing.
mean, these guys aren't going to spend
$40 on a fig.
the 80 to 100 on a fig,
Yeah,
let alone
that we do.
a set for 300. So that's another thing at play, right?
Yeah, I remember like at first, I feel like I'm not gonna say names or anything, but there was someone on our Discord like posting customs thing. I know
Yeah.
you and all right, we're back.
There we go.
So what we're gonna do, Cody and I were actually just talking behind the scenes. We'll try and go for like another 10 piece.
Yeah, round it out.
See
See how far we can push this Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this Wi-Fi is absolute heinous.
So yeah,
activity.
there's a couple thousand people in here right now, so
Yeah.
it's a little wonky right now.
But as a makeup, we'll do like an episode 11.5 after Brickworld,
Okay.
and we can sit down, on our own home bases. I like how we have Brett to show.
Brett, we got Brett. He's slinging product right now.
Slinging their products.
Let's see that, man. Let's see it.
Speaking
Oh,
of,
Brent's slinging the walkaway set right in front of us now at Brickworld.
I need that set. Are they all gone?
Oh no, I got one tucked away for you. I made sure I didn't sell out.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, we'll hook it up.
So, speaking of which, so we're not going to say exactly what it is, but you and I, we're both very much in this custom fig.
Yep.
You and I are very much looking down looking down the barrel of unite or collaborating with someone else to unite for something.
Yes.
We can't give like a exact time frame, but at least
It's in the works.
Yeah, I would say like an accurate prediction would be like Q1 or Q2 next year.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm excited for this because, again, what we were talking about either before we froze or while we froze, the collaboration part, right? Pretty much everything I do is 99% on me, and then 1% on Sean, saying, "Okay, this is like this. This is what I think. What do you think?" The back and forth, kind of at the end, right?
Yeah.
But I'm the one that's producing, right, and moving stuff forwards. But what we have in the works is more of a collaboration. So it's honestly, it feels like less pressure on me, right? I still got stuff to do, but again, at the end of the day, we might have a few people working together to get this made, right?
And people with a huge predominant experience in that market.
That too. Yep. 1,000%.
Like they're big ballers in that space.
Yep.
Not like saying you aren't.
Yeah. But no, I know exactly what you mean. I'm just scale wise.
They have done volume.
Yeah.
Like they are doing drops that sell out in seconds.
Exactly. So yeah, the collaborative part I think is great, and then on top of it, I think it's a learning experience too. I mean, if when you're working with someone who has more experience than you and is factually bigger than you, I think that's invaluable, right?
Yeah, it's even if it's a one-time stint.
Yeah,
that's huge for us.
1,000%.
Because not only is it a good resume, but also for our own skill set. Yeah, we worked at this volume.
Yep.
We can, and we also have more appreciation for what we buy.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm excited to see that progress here and chip away at that with you. I think it's gonna be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Cool thing to talk about next year, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's gonna be wild.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I guess I could give you a tease. There's gonna be a big panel next year.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of
okay.
We'll discuss
next year.
Yeah, it's just so exciting to talk about now. It's in the work. It's like it's officially a green light.
Awesome.
But kind of like going back to you, you've been going into merch and stuff like that. A big thing for me was on a whim doing that 24. For me, honor my dad.
Yep.
And thank you for coming in on that.
Oh, I'm glad I could. I mean, my work is always a little crazy, but at the time it was very crazy.
It was right like the day after Christmas.
But I was able to sneak in a little bit, so that was good. I was happy I was able to pop on with you when I could. But even just like those types of streams, even just being at work, being able to just pop the AirPod in and listen to that kind of stuff, it's always a good time.
Yeah, and I want to kind of base off that because it was like literally like 4 hours after that we ended that show.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, here's my idea. I wanted to do this talk show. Not like exactly like a copy of Shy, not exactly a copy of ACOM, but if I could take what they're doing with, my favorite human being in the world, Lex Friedman, and morph that all into one, I feel like this is what this would be.
Yeah.
So when I asked you, like, I shot around the idea, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And then I asked you, like, hey, you have no idea what I'm going to be doing. Would you want to kind of like be a part of this and back it?
Yeah.
How was that for you? Was it like, can you tell us like how you kind of navigated that?
Yeah. I mean, I knew who you were at that point, obviously, right? We connected at Brickworld last year, and then just talking over the months, online in streams, wherever. You're thinking, right? And then I knew that you had been sniffing out, with Sean and Shy, whoever. And the thing that those guys always say is, yeah, go for it. The Shy especially is like, just do it. Like, you don't need to wait until this happens or that. Just do it and start, and you'll figure it out from there. And then as far as it's kind of a copy of this, kind of copy of that, everything is at the start. You have to base something on something else when you're starting
before you find your own.
Then as you go, you're gonna find your niche. I mean, it's nearly impossible to start complete 100% originality. Like that's just tough. So, but I mean, look where we are now. right? I mean, you've really found your lane here. But yeah, I would say in the start, you coming to me cold and saying, "Yo, this is kind of what I want to do. What do you think? Would you be interested in, kind of supporting that?" And at that point, I mean, I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, we're chill. I trust you.
Yeah.
I feel like anything that you want to do is going to be an overall positive thing. So yeah, let's go for
I
it."
appreciate that.
Yeah, no
It's like,
problem, man.
I was nervous to ask you because I'm like, I'm a nobody.
Hey, I'm a nobody as well, man.
We can be nobodies and become something together.
That's right. Well, that's the thing. We're at the end of the day, we're all nobodies, right? And
Yeah.
that and as long as you keep that, right?
Sean.
There he is.
Love that, man.
As long as you keep that mentality at the end of the day, and you stay humble, I think that's when these experiences, like in person like this, are at their best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you start feeling yourself a little too much, might get a little bit too big for your britches. I think that's when things go wrong.
Yeah.
That's when maybe the sentiment from your peers, turns the wrong way, and hopefully someone checks you in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Brings you back down,
Corrective
saying,
action takes place.
we're all here for the same thing.
Mhm.
Everyone's on the same level here.
Same
I mean, it's what
playing
we
field.
always say. If someone says, "Hey, I'm coming to Brickworld. Can I hang out?" Yeah, of course. That's what we do here.
And we're all just dudes.
Yep.
It was like, I had my first ever recognition interaction yesterday.
Uh-huh.
They're like, "Yo, you're that guy that talks to all these big people."
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you do that? I'm like,
Just
everyone
that's
here.
all it takes.
And it's just like everyone, I think even the big thing, like for me, like meeting you guys last year, it's like, this is just a hobby. It's not even the full hobby. It's just supplementing what
part of it.
we're addicted to.
Yep.
And we're just grown men with plastic.
People just want to be involved. They just want to
feel
be in the community. So yeah, I mean, whether you're big or small, asking someone, a little bit bigger than you or way bigger, like at the end of the day, a lot of these people just want to be involved in this community because that's why they got in to start
in the first place. Yeah. So, I'm gonna start wrapping things up, because we'll definitely do like a more formatted type thing with less background chatter.
For sure.
Because I want to give you the respect you deserve.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. And these are kind of like little fun episodes. That's why I changed the font and stuff on them.
All the Brickworld streams are kind of their own bear.
Yeah,
it's anyone who streams at Brickworld, you can, there's a certain vibe to it, right?
Yeah. So I think what I might do is I'll just rename these as little Brickworld edition.
Yeah.
I won't say edition. That's Sean's thing. I'll say edition.
Okay.
I'm not stealing anyone's.
Maybe like a sub theme.
Yeah. But I'll just say these are bonus, and then we'll have you on for the official 10th.
For sure.
Just because this is a whole, I'm used to having a monitor.
Yeah.
And not this high tech equipment. This is the scariest part. There's all these slides and buttons. But I just want to tell you, man, thank you. You were easily my first 3 friends I've ever had in this space.
Okay.
We were chatting consistently. Hey, check out this drop coming. Hey, bookmark it, dude.
Yeah.
If you can't get it, I'll score it and we'll sort funds later.
Yep.
You're a giver, and you don't ask for a thing in return. Especially just hanging out. I bum a beer off you. You're not you better. It's I'm not saying that's it, but it goes along that principle and that guideline.
Little things.
Yeah.
No, I super appreciate that, Austin. I mean, rolling into we rolled up to that band last year, right? For the first day of Brickworld last year, and
here we are now.
You were there and I was there, and yeah, I mean it's chill. I mean, I think we're into very similar things. I think that helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. I'm really happy with what we've grown separate and together here, and
but we have stayed very connected.
1000%.
And I noticed that, even though we are both kind of not becoming we're here, but we were here.
Yeah. We're growing together.
Yeah, but also that too, we keep each other in the loop.
Yep.
When you did the holiday heat, you're hey, can we put Austin's distribution on this?
Yeah.
And now I'm hey, I want you to do this. I feel like we're gonna definitely be doing that because we talked a few things about maybe a G-dub possibility.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
I think so.
Atari's.
Yeah.
That poor guy. He was or at Meyer, I went up that random couple. I'm like, hey, do you want me to buy you a Lego set? Like, come on, stuff like that. Just want to thank you. Like, you took a chance on me with this, and I feel like it's finding its own rabbit hole. Sure, it's not like pulling M&R numbers, but like
Doesn't need to.
no, and I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for me.
Yeah.
I hate to sound selfish, but it's like I also want to give everyone the exposure for their own outlet. I've had very different guests from one another. They're in like some like mock series or custom series. I just want to give everyone the spotlight.
I mean, it pulls people together. All right.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not on the show at the same time as Tom, right?
Mhm.
That still builds a connection there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
you're the central point of that, right? Because you're pulling these people together, and outside of just Brick Connection 101 episodes, you have these other streams, right?
The after hours, or the charity live.
I think that's where the real bonds between people like us are made.
I agree fully. And with all that being said, just thank you again for everything and hopping on here. And we'll do an episode in like a week or so after.
Yeah, dude.
Whenever your schedule's free, we'll set like within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Will be our parameter.
Okay.
Not like I'm booked out the wazoo.
We'll figure something out.
But it's like, if we we'll end up forgetting, like, oh yeah, we'll get to it, then we'll be at the same spot next year.
We're saying 2 weeks, so guys expect it in probably about
4.
8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
But it will come because you're gonna keep making these.
Yeah, it will slow down a little bit in August. It'll just be monthly,
just a lull.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Just for a few months.
We can deal with a lull or two.
Yeah. Just to do it. Have some things.
That's right. You gotta take a little bit of a lull so that you can start ramping up to Brickworld next year, right?
Yeah, dude. And Shreddy, you better be there.
Yeah, you better actually.
If
no skipping.
Yeah, Shreddy, if you're not there, Cody and I will book a flight to you, and we will haul you out against your will.
Okay.
And we will force you here.
Yeah, sure.
What we'll do? We'll go by his house, buy up like a Costco full of ghosts, and leave a trail.
we're gonna get a Shreddy trap.
Shreddy trap. And who knows? Maybe my mom will pop by next year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
She'd be. This is too much nerd sweat. I'm out. And I'm not gonna
try it once.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep you any longer because you have your fam on the way.
I do. Yep. They're gonna come and experience the public days.
Yep. I'm excited to meet them.
Should be a good time.
And do you have anything you want to say?
No, man. I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah. And with that being said, I'm gonna awkwardly stare at this camera. That's very small, but it has very good quality.
It's a great camera.
It is. This mic is really good.
I wish the Wi-Fi was as good as that camera.
I wish the Wi-Fi was as good as this hotel.
There you go.
All right. With that said, let's see if I can actually navigate this while staring at the camera. And 3. Also, thank you for everyone who tuned in. Yeah, we didn't answer every comment, but with the jank Wi-Fi we got
through it.
Yeah, we had to forcefully
did the best with what we could.
Yep. Until then, we'll see you guys in like 2, 4, 8, 7, or 12 weeks. With that said.